All right, well, it's time to once again talk about all the hell breaking loose across our area when it comes to crime. And we have some breaking news with that. But of course, first, we got to talk about how a certain demographic on Wall Street today is oblivious, and they just won big today. They won huge across all the markets. Just oblivious to the climate crisis, oblivious to the crime, oblivious to the economic strife. They don't care. They're just living it up. You know, these people are just unbelievable. And of course, Channel 12, well, they've been missing some stories too. I mean, they were in the middle of the island. They did cover this. This is a classic example, by the way. We're just going to go over this briefly. Lake Ronkonkoma residents angered with debris removal from latest storm because they didn't clean up the debris. And they did cover this, and I'll give them credit for that. Basically, all the debris, the tree branches and everything, they actually threw some of the stuff into the lake. They dumped it into the shoreline of the lake, so they didn't clean it up. You know, if this happened on the South Shore, it would have been cleaned up because it's the middle of the island. They left it there, and they don't make it a priority to clean it up. So, unbelievable. All right, but we have other crimes to talk about here that Channel 12 did not talk about, and here's one of them. And we got to get to the city, too, so we got a lot of stuff here. Man accused of fatally stabbing victim at a shared Coram residence. Coram, of course, is not a safe area. At least parts of it are better than others, but most of it has a lot of crime problems. So it says a Long Island man has been apprehended after police say he fatally stabbed a victim at their shared residence. So Anthony Smith, age 64, stabbed the adult male acquaintance. Anthony Smith, age 64, stabbed the adult male acquaintance inside the Coram residence on Carr Lane following an altercation at approximately 4:55 a.m. Tuesday, July 19th. The victim, who has also lived at the residence, was pronounced dead at the scene. His identity has not yet been released. Smith was arrested and charged with second-degree murder. Police said he will be held overnight at the 6th Precinct and is scheduled to be arraigned at the 1st District Court in Central Islip on Wednesday, July 20th. Anyone with information on this is... So, again, this is pretty sad stuff going on here. And this is on Carr Lane in Coram. So let's go to maps and we'll find Carr Lane in Coram. I'm pretty sure I know the area, but we'll go ahead and look. It's probably the Gordon Heights section of Coram. So we're going to go there right now and look and see. Carr Lane, Coram. Yep, Gordon Heights section. This is one of the most dangerous parts of Coram. Not surprising that it would happen on this street at all. And this is just, again, an example of the neglect here. And this was a residence. So you have a lot of people living in houses, boarding houses. And, and some of them are criminals. A lot of them are criminals. A lot of them are sex offenders. And that's what goes on there. Of course, Channel 12 could care less. Here's another one they could care less about. Riverhead man critical after stabbing in Riverhead. Long Island man was charged with assault after allegedly stabbed another man with a large knife, leaving the victim in critical condition. The incident took place in Riverhead at 10:45 p.m. Monday, July 18th, in the area of Griffin Avenue and West Main Street. The attack was discovered when a Riverhead officer spotted some kind of dispute between two men on the street. As the officer called for backup, one of the men began chasing the other. The man being chased appeared to be bleeding, and his shirt was soaked in blood. When the victim crossed West Main Street, he collapsed to the ground in front of 11 West Main Street. The suspect then changed directions and began to run from the area in a westbound direction on West Main Street, while the officer gave chase. The suspect, identified as Ronald De Jesus Oscar Cruz, age 29, of Riverhead, was arrested a short distance away on West Main Street and was found to be in possession of a large kitchen knife that was covered in blood. He was taken into custody without further incident. The victim was found to have multiple stab wounds, and officers first rendered first aid until he was transported by Riverhead ambulance to Peconic Bay Medical Center with life-threatening injuries. Once at the hospital, the victim, 36-year-old Riverhead man, underwent emergency surgery to stabilize his injuries, and he remains in intensive care in critical condition at this time. Oscar Cruz was charged with assault and criminal possession of a weapon and held for arraignment, and he better not be let out. But we don't know. He might be let out. You don't know. He might be. All right. And We have a whole bunch here. This one, Channel 12, barely covered. Long Island duo charged with robbery. They just read over it after change machine ate their money. So these two here were allegedly stole $20 from a laundromat attendant after the cash change machine ate their money. So the incident took place in Westbury at 8:40 p.m. According to detectives, William Solorzano, age 18, and Jennifer Correas, age 24, of both Hempstead, entered Olivia's laundromat located at 535 Old Country Road to do laundry. Solorzano told an female employee the change machine did not dispense quarters after he inserted his money. The employee explained a refund would be sent through the mail. Okay, so they're going to get a refund, but Solorzano became angry because he could not get his money immediately. The employee went into the room marked for employees only, posted on the door. Solorzano opened the door and entered the room and pushed the employee in a struggle and shoot before he removed 20 from her hand. So they fled the scene in a 2022 Acura. An investigation led to their arrest. So, yeah, this is kind of a... I guess maybe the machine ate their money. You really should put a 20 in those machines if that's what they did. They probably didn't. They probably put something less in there. Who knows? Maybe it was a counterfeit bill. You don't know. Here we go. 460 in face creams being stolen from Huntington Station. Channel 12 didn't. This was CVS. All right. Not even going to go over that one here. Oh, burglar alarm at Riverhead Business leads to 16-year-old with gun. They didn't cover this on 12 either. A Chips burglar alarm at a Long Island business led police to a teenager with a gun. Riverhead police were called around 4:40 p.m. Sunday, July 17th, with reports of a commercial burglar alarm on Old Country Road near Osprey Avenue. During the search, Osprey Avenue. Osprey, I think that's Osborne. During a search of the property, police found 4 people near the rear of the building. One of them, a 16-year-old, was acting in a suspicious manner and was not complying. Officers eventually determined that the teen had a 9mm handgun and arrested them on charges of criminal possession of a firearm. The teen was processed at the Riverhead Police Department and later released into the custody of a parent, pending future court date. Further investigation of the burglar alarm showed that the building had not been broken into. Yeah, I am sorry. I had a panic attack and I do apologize. I was trying to hide it, but I don't know longer I can keep doing these crime updates. It's making me nervous. It's triggering everything. But all right, let's get to the next one here. A man accused of exposing himself to teens at a park on Long Island. And Channel 12 did report on this for like 10 seconds. A 36-year-old man is facing charges after authorities say he exposed himself to a 16-year-old and a 19-year-old on Long Island. This is pretty sick, man. Rodolfo Ernesto Amana of Valley Stream was arrested at 7:50 p.m. Monday, July 18th. They responded to a report of a disturbance at the Valley Stream Village Green Park. Authorities said a 16-year-old girl and a 19-year-old woman were reported to the police that a man had approached them and began exposing himself. Police located Amana and arrested him without incident. And they also found he had 3 active bench warrants. I am not surprised. He's charged with public lewdness and endangering the welfare of a child. His arraignment was set for today, so we'll see if we don't know. He's probably released. But this is what you get to deal with. So let's go now to, obviously, South Shore 12. You're oblivious to all this stuff. And of course they covered this. Oh, because it happened on the South Shore. It's breaking news. Of course. But anyway, we got more news on Long Island that's breaking. Stabbed and then shot dead in Nassau County. Police are in Uniondale Park, reporting that a male has been stabbed and then shot dead. This is by Union Boulevard. The first suspect took off on a bike. Police described the suspect as a male Hispanic. The second suspect took off on foot. Shopper and K9 en route. Nothing going on. Nothing from South Shore 12 about that. And short-staffed in the city to handle a mental health crisis. So, that going on. Now let's go to NBC New York because there's a whole bunch of crime going on in the city. There's been subway attacks. Someone was shot to death on the set of a Law and Order, and they may have been dealing weed from their car. 2 teens shot in East Harlem. 14-year-old critically hurt after being shot in the head. Fortunately, the murder charge on the New York City bodega owner was finally dropped. But D.A. Bragg has got to resign. I mean, he just doesn't, governor just doesn't want to do anything about it. Here's another crime. And man with autism beaten in New York City building lobby by rod-wielding attacker. And they don't even have a story and reporter on this. When did this happen? It happened in Brooklyn. They were seated in the lobby of a building near York and Gold Street, 6:30 p.m. when cops say a stranger approached them and started to hit them. It's not clear what the object was, but the surveillance shows the subject in the front door. It looks like a wooden rod. Unbelievable. Looking at all this crime going on here in the city, it's so scary. What's happening, and I guess maybe meanwhile, the heat. Governor Kathy Hochul could care less about the heat. If you look at what she has to say here, you will see nothing about the heat. Nothing. Look at all the people. Look at who she serves. Biggest challenges roundtable. Look at all the people she's sitting with. It's all a certain demographic. There isn't one person of color there. Look at these pictures. I don't see one person of color there. Look at this. This is unbelievable. Look at who she's sitting with. It's so obvious who she serves. Look at this. This is unbelievable. She's completely oblivious to the crime, completely oblivious. They're in their own damn enclaves. Look at them. You know these kind of people. Where do you see them on? The South Shore. It's unbelievable. Meanwhile, Phil Murphy says we're in the midst of a heat wave. So he cares about people. He actually cares about people. So let me end this before I'm having a panic attack and pretty upset. And I'm sorry. I don't know if I can keep doing this anymore with the crime updates. It's just stressing me out. I can't. I'm so scared of the crime going on. I'm so scared of what's going on and across the world, and I'm scared most of all that I'm not gonna be able to survive on Long Island anymore. I'm gonna have to go live in New Jersey, and it just brings me to tears, man. I can't do it. The heat, I just can't. So many reasons. It just sucks. Why do these freaking Wall Street people have to take over New York? I just don't get it, man. I'm sorry, but I don't know if I can keep doing these crime updates anymore. You have to understand. I got enough to deal with. I can't deal with it anymore. I'm sorry. Thank you for watching.